David suddenly realized he had survived 108 dangerous days alone on Mars. He did everything he could to send this news back to Earth. After searching all over, he discovered the old Pathfinder rover, which had been sent to Mars in the 1970s. Many years had gone by, and he wasn't sure if it would still work, but he didn't lose hope. David powered it on, and surprisingly, the dusty old machine came to life. Its signal receiver pointed toward a nearby space station. Back on Earth, the Space Center team noticed Pathfinder was active again. Now they had a way to connect with the machine on Mars. David watched as Pathfinder started moving on its own. But because it was such an old device, communication was slow. Each message took 30 minutes to travel from Mars to Earth. David realized he had finally made contact. He returned to his base, grabbed some whiteboards, wrote simple messages, and held them up in front of the camera. Half an hour later, Earth received the image. Even though they could only reply by turning the camera, contact was made. To improve communication, David placed boards with letters around Pathfinder in a circle. Earth's team would rotate the camera to choose letters, and David would write down each one to decode the message. But this method was painfully slow. One sentence took hours. Scientists on Earth soon came up with a better idea. They taught David how to update Pathfinder's code. After a few days, it connected directly to its communication rover. Now they could talk without delays. Everyone at the Space Center gathered, amazed by David's bravery. But they had to give him hard news. He would need to survive alone for 4 more years until a new mission, Ares 4, could bring him back. David had enough potatoes to last a year, and the team promised to send a rocket with supplies to keep him alive until rescue. Sadly, things didn't go as planned. That night, while working in the lab, a pressure system failed. An explosion broke David's helmet and started leaking his oxygen. He quickly sealed the helmet with tape to survive. Freezing air rushed into the lab, covering everything in ice and ruining his potato supply. David informed Earth of the disaster. The situation had become critical, and the rocket construction was rushed. A month later, the rocket was ready, and David had only 400 days of food left. The rocket launched, and everyone was hopeful. But soon, they noticed unusual vibrations. Before anyone could react, the rocket exploded in midair. The failure crushed all hope. David heard the bad news on his 147th day and lost his will to live. As his food ran out, he waited quietly for the end. But just then, the Chinese Space Center stepped in. They offered help through a secret mission called Suryadev, which had a powerful booster that could reach Mars quickly. China agreed to give up their mission and assist. The plan was to send food and fuel to Hermes, the spacecraft returning to Earth. Once stocked, Hermes would head back to Mars. When it entered Mars orbit, David would launch himself into space to meet them.